Huskies, and welcome back to the My GBC podcast. We are now in season 3. Can you believe it? I'm so excited to start off this new semester by talking with another student of GBC about our hopes, fears, and dreams. Welcome, Shouvik. How are you?
Thank you so much, Arantxa. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast today. I'm doing really well, and it's great to talk to you today. Looking forward to this session.
I'm happy to have you here too. So I'm really excited about this new start of the semester, and I think it always feels like the start of fall. I just want to start with a fun question. What is your favorite part about fall?
Well, this is interesting because this is going to be my first fall experience in Canada because I arrived earlier this year in April. So I'm quite excited and looking forward to see the changing colors of fall and spend some time in the parks before the winter set in. So yeah, quite looking forward to sort of experience fall for the first time here.
I think you will enjoy it. I really, really like being on fall. I don't know, like the colors of the trees, how you can see that transition. Then you see how the leaves start to fall.
Yes.
I think it's amazing and all. I don't know. I really like fall, and also because it's a nice weather, and we can keep enjoying a little bit on the parks.
Exactly. It's not too hot, not too cold, just the right amount of, weather and perfect, I think, to enjoy before the winter set in and becomes really cold and harsh.
That's true. So for those that are tuning in, can you remind me, Shouvik, what is the program that you are in?
Of course. So I'm currently studying B413, which stands for Digital Media Marketing. I recently finished my second semester and now I've just started my co-op term, also known as the work experience term, which is technically the third and final semester in my program.
Oh, okay, that's amazing. Just as a reminder, I'm in the B134, that means business and human resources. And actually, I'm in my third semester. So I have this one and one more left. So as you said before, you are in your co-op, but it was your first time on campus. Did you have some courses online? How are you feeling about all this experience and also the classes that you already had?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's a little new for me, primarily because during this semester, I'll be away from the campus because co-op is primarily work experience where you actually go to an organization and work there. So I'll not be in campus throughout the semester, but I was in the campus. I was in the Casa Loma campus for the entire summer term, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a great experience to be at the campus, to experience the energy, to see and meet the professor and students in person. It was a lot of fun. Also because there were a lot of events happening within the campus throughout the summer and a lot of in-person interactions. It was a great experience to have to get the opportunity to attend these things in person. And although the co-op term is a great opportunity to actually interact with business leaders and learn work, but I will surely miss those campus interactions with professors and students during these 3 to 4 months. So yeah.
That's good. I mean, you have that interaction, and I think it's very important because since we were away 2 years, then coming back to be in the campus is amazing. Right now, to be
Absolutely.
sincere, I just finished my first class on campus. So I'm really it's nice to be back, actually it's my first semester on campus that I'm feeling that campus life, that having people, meeting new people, meeting your professors, being able to talk with someone in a way that sometimes you have the screen and you may have the videos and the audios, but it's not the same as the real connection when you have someone by your side. And in that case also you are able to make those connections to maybe a group assignment, or you never know if you meet someone who can actually help you in the workplace, or even here at college. So I think it's an amazing a way to come back and now to feel that living that a campus life that some of us would dream about.
I totally agree with you because, all this while people were quite used to the whole online and virtual learning experience. And when you're actually inside the campus, the learning experience and the whole, way you learn within the class along with people becomes much more fun when you're actually there with other people. So you're right. I think the campus learning experience is unmatched.
That's surely true. So how are you feeling about maybe your course if you are almost done, as we said before, and there is any fears or hopes that you are going to have this new semester?
Right. So I think I'm happy. I technically don't have any studying to do right now. So I don't have to worry about any assignments and class projects for that matter, because I do not have any courses throughout the work term. I will be primarily working in this work term with a company, and I'm really excited as this is going to be my first work experience here in Canada. And I'll be actually putting all my learnings from the class to use when I'm working here. And I'm really looking forward to that because this is going to shape me in a different way, and I'm actually going to learn all the things in person, and I'm going to practice the things that I've actually learned in class. So I think I'm quite looking forward to this entire work term in that perspective.
For me, actually, I think I'm a little bit like, I don't know if it's worried, scared, happy. I have everything together, to be sincere right now. Since it's like, it's the first semester back on campus, I also have like 8 courses. So I think it's like a lot, but I think it's going to be better like between the time happen
Absolutely.
pass. It's always the first week, you know. I think
Yeah.
the first
Yeah.
week you always like kind of overwhelmed because you have a lot of courses. You need to start to learn how the professors like to be the things done at class, or how you're gonna with whom you are at classes. So because that's part of also being again on the courses on your semester, like you need to meet new people. So maybe you need to start making those new connections to have the group assignments, because not everything is by yourself. So I think it's like at the beginning you are overwhelmed, but then like the 2 weeks later you are totally like, okay, let's do this in a better way. So what would be your idea of success at the end of the semester? Like if you could achieve one thing by the end of the December, what would it be?
Well, I like this question. So I think my idea of success will obviously be to maintain the GPA that I've got so far. I have put in a lot of hard work over the last 2 semesters to maintain a certain GPA, and I want to ensure that I maintain that streak. Also, in addition to that, I want to do really well in my co-op because, like I said previously, this is my first official work experience in Canada, and I wanted to be really good, and I want to prove myself and hopefully end it with a great recommendation from my employer. So that's my number one goal at the end of this work term.
For me, I think I will be kind of the same on the maintain my GPA, and also that is something that I really want to take care of. It's like your mental health, because sometimes when you push yourself to achieve those, like to have those goals of maintain a GPA, by example, you know that you need to push yourself a little bit like more than usual, right? So I want to maintain like my good GPA, but also I want to maintain my good mental health. And beside that, I want to also maybe have a little bit of social life, since it's like you are meeting new people. So maybe you want to start going out a little bit more. In the meantime, you don't want to keep aside your job on your duties. So I think it's just to try to have the perfect balance between here and December, and let's see how it goes.
I couldn't agree more with you. I think that's a very valid point that you just brought, Arantxa, because your mental well-being and having a correct headspace is really important, because you can keep having multiple goals and objectives and assignments and projects, but if your mental balance and if your headspace is not right, you will not be able to achieve those objectives in the right frame of mind. So I think it's very important to strike that balance along the way. And if that is there, I think you can achieve pretty much everything by the end of your semester.
Yes. So is there anything that you have learned from the last semester or the past experiences that you could use if you get stuck or discouraged?
Interesting. Well, personally, I think if there's one thing that I would surely keep doing throughout this term and even otherwise in life is planning on a daily basis. Over the last 2 semesters, I found that sometimes it gets really overwhelming with so many projects and deliverables, and it really comes down to prioritizing it effectively. I expect the same to happen during my work term as well, because I'll be doing multiple marketing based projects with a real world application within the company. And I would definitely continue making a list of things and plan it daily, as that helps me in having certain clarity of mind and also gives me the assurance that I know the things that are expected out of me. So, if there's one thing that I would continue doing is to make a daily task list and a priority list, so that I know what are the things that I have to do, and what are the most important things that I have to achieve on a day-to-day basis.
That sounds great. And also would take some of that as well, like part of like our time management, like every day to achieve those goals, how we gonna manage our time to be able to achieve everything. And so I think that's something that I learned my last semester. I was very organized. I have like a schedule that I was seeing like by week. So I was able to see, okay, I have work, I have the time to work, I have the time to do these assignments, evaluation, group assignments. So I was able to do everything, and I was able to keep maintaining my life. So I think it's very important. And also the things that I really encourage people is to go out of the comfort zone.
True.
It's gonna help you in your semester, in your career, in your daily life. Like now that we are on campus, let's try to meet as much people as we can and as we feel comfortable with, because not everyone will like to maybe be so social, but I think it's gonna help us like on our future. Like maybe you're gonna meet some new people. Sometimes you're hesitating. I talk about myself. Maybe the way that I speak is not the perfect for someone, but like I'm just going out of my comfort zone, and that is gonna make me able to meet new people and to actually improve my skills. So that's one of the things that I think is the most important.
Absolutely, I agree to that, and that's why they say, that your real growth happens outside of your comfort zone. Only when you do things that you're not comfortable with, that's when you grow the most and you learn the most. So yeah, couldn't agree more to that.
Because sometimes we're so hesitating about
Yeah,
how we're doing the things instead of like, okay, let's just do it. Let's just take that class that I'm hesitating, or let's just speak to that person that it looks like nice, or
yeah,
I want to talk with in classes, but I'm afraid to approach that person. So I think it's sometimes we just need to put those fears aside
yeah,
and
yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah, I think we make up these mental scenarios that probably, talking to that person is difficult, or maybe getting into this project is intimidating. We make these mental, boundaries for ourselves. And I think it's really important to cross those boundaries and then jump into these new things. Otherwise, we'll never be able to get those things done.
And also, if you don't feel comfortable with, there is a lot of resources here at GBC that you can take care. You can approach maybe student life and go have that social life. You have a lot of workshop with the orientation team. So why
Absolutely.
not start taking those workshop or those things
Of
that it's
course.
gonna improve your skills?
Right. And I think people just need to advocate for themselves. There are so many people to help out. Even, there are certain departments, like you said, even student representatives or even your classmates. I think you just need to ask for help, and there are people to sort of help you out and guide you.
And if, and even the professors, because right now every time
Oh,
that they
yes.
are like just introducing themselves in classes, they're open to help you as well. Like, hey, let's have the contact, let's follow on LinkedIn. So that means that the professors are open to have that interaction and also help.
Absolutely. You're right.
Thank you, Shouvik, to coming on the podcast and to talking to me. I think it was a very nice perspective from two students in different stages of life, and I think like us, there is a lot of students as well. So we invite you to be the best that you can be in this new semester and to have a great semester.
Thank you so much, Ranza. I had a lot of fun talking to you today. And, like you said, it's very exciting that the new semester is about to begin. And yes, people must enjoy it apart from studies. There are so many other things happening in the campus. So I strongly urge and recommend people to enjoy themselves more than anything. And all the best wishes to all the students for this upcoming fall semester. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us today. We look forward to returning soon with another episode of my GBC podcast. Till then, have a great week.